When was the last time someone from the US won the Albert Einstein Award? Looking down on the list here, I see people from all over the world. Denmark, Estonia, Mexico, Belgium, Singapore, Finland, United Kingdom, Latvia, Netherlands, China. Mexico has had multiple people back to back leading up to the year when the US won it in 2008. I want to give a word of encouragement. I want to give a word of encouragement to families, students out there. The Albert Einstein Award is just one award. The recipient is evaluated and elected by an interdisciplinary committee, which is composed of world-renowned scientists, among them 25 Nobel laureates, right? If I asked you, by the way, who won the Nobel Prize for chemistry last year, you're probably going to say, I don't know, like who remembers those kind of things, right? Well, Amos is weird. He does. I remember one of the winners of that, and she did some work in organic chemistry. Here's the deal. At Lifestem Academy, we are training our students, assuming they're going to win either one of these awards, right? The Fields Medal, Albert Einstein Award, the Nobel Prize. And they're not doing the work just to win the award, but their work hopefully will pave the way that those awards will come out and they'll get it. Albert Einstein knew he was going to win the Nobel Prize, by the way. Like, he knew. He actually knew he was going to win that prize, and he did. And he won it for something you wouldn't actually believe. Albert Einstein didn't win the Nobel Prize for relativity theory. You he won it for his work in actually more like quantum, some work in quantum, right? The photoelectric effect. And that's interesting because a lot of people know him for the theory of relativity. He technically could have won another Nobel Prize if we saw some of the outcomes of his theories and principles. But the point I want to make is this. Let us inspire our students to study those who have come before them, to see the problems that they were trying to solve, so that they can then try to improve the solutions that might be there right now. A lot of students from 7th to 10th grade have a lot of time on their hands. They should serve their families well. They should take out the trash, wash the dishes. I get it. However, what if they also study a little bit about who won the Nobel Prize in physics? Who won the Nobel Prize in chemistry? They might not understand all the concepts, but just keep going back in the years. And when you find a problem, right, in physiology that you feel, I want to study this, right? I want to study receptors in the body. I want to study the effect of this or the effect of that on a system. Whatever the issue is, I want my students to be sitting around a table without anybody forcing them and talking about, hey, so did you guys see that Nobel Prize winner? I think that there's a better way to design diodes or whatever, right? So I'm making a list, and I have a list of the Albert Einstein winners. I have a list of the Nobel Prize or the link to that. And then the Fields Medal. The Fields Medal is interesting. I want to tell you guys a story. There's a mathematician by the name of Andrew Wiles. Okay, I'm going to tell you two stories if you don't mind. There's a mathematician by the name of Andrew Wiles. Andrew Wiles was a young boy when he encountered a problem called Fermat's last theorem. Now, Fermat's last theorem, the simplest way to explain it is, imagine Pythagoras' theorem. A squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. That's basic Pythagoras' theorem. You've probably heard of that. Which, by the way, Pythagoras lived around 500 BC, and he was contemporaries with another guy called Daniel in Babylon. Okay, and I'm going to be doing a study on Daniel with teenagers. I'm doing it with adults too, but I'm going to be doing it to teenagers, studying the life of Daniel and his friends and how they stood for the truth in the midst of an empire that would have cost them their lives, that would have taken their lives. They stood for the truth. Where are young people today who are willing to stand for the truth, to stand for what matters? I would love to encourage them to go through the Daniel for Teenagers study. Their first assignment for that is just read the first 6 chapters of Daniel in the Bible. Pythagoras was contemporaries with Daniel. I just think it's pretty interesting, right? Pythagoras was in Greece. Daniel, of course, was in Babylon. So we know that Pythagoras' theorem, a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared, is true. For a right triangle, that's always true. The converse is also true. If a right triangle, or if a triangle has 2 of its legs squared equal to the hypotenuse squared, that is a right triangle, which is great. Okay, that's Pythagoras' theorem. What Fermat's last theorem says is that if you change it from a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared, if you change it to a cubed plus b cubed is equal to c cubed, you will never find any number that will work for that combination. And you will never find it for anything greater than squares. If it's a to the 4th plus b to the 4th is equal to c to the 4th, there are no numbers that will satisfy those conditions I just gave. A to the 5th plus b to the 5th is equal to c to the 5th. There are no numbers that will satisfy that, and so on and so forth. Andrew Wiles was a young boy. He saw that problem and he literally worked hard, went to, he studied at Princeton. He did a lot of work. And one day, Andrew Wiles presented the solution to the world. There was some glitch here and there that had to be sorted out. Anyways, long story short, Andrew Wiles solved the Fermat's last theorem. Andrew Wiles, I believe, also received very high honors, high awards for that. But imagine what happened in the process of trying to solve Fermat's last theorem. All the techniques of mathematics that were born, all the techniques of mathematics that became available to many people. When you're trying to solve a problem, sometimes you actually find tools that help other people. Okay, that's Andrew Wiles. There's another guy I haven't talked enough about. I haven't talked much about him, and I'm going to start doing that more. His name is Terence Tao. Now, Terence Tao was a prodigy. There are few of those people, but he was a prodigy. We sometimes think that people who are sharp are always prodigies. That's not the case. In the top 3 mathematicians of all time in general consensus, Carl Friedrich Gauss, Isaac Newton, and Leonhard Euler, it's only Carl Friedrich Gauss that I would put in the prodigy camp 100%. The other 2 worked very hard. Terence Tao was a prodigy. And so at the age of 3, he was teaching arithmetic to his friends. At the age of 8, he almost scored a perfect score on the SAT. At the age of 8. Now remember, Bill Gates got a perfect score on the math of the SAT, but Bill Gates was not 8 years old when he did it. Terence Tao was 8. Just think about that for a second. You have like a 3rd grader almost scoring a perfect score on the SAT math that seniors in high school are taking. Terence Tao got his PhD early 20s, about 21. He won the Fields Medal before 30. The Fields Medal is given once every 4 years. Think about it. This is not an award that they give every year. No, it's every 4 years. And he won it by the age of 30. This guy is sharp. He's out at the University of California in Los Angeles. So when we talk about the Nobel Prize or the Fields Medal or the Albert Einstein Award, what we're trying to get our students to learn is what are the problems that the people we're trying to solve. We want your student to solve problems in the future. So if you want a school that challenges kids to learn about the current day problems and how they can solve those problems and how they can advance different fields of science, well, Lifestem Academy is the place to be. Back in the 16 and 1700s, kids would go to college at 12, 13, 14, 15. That was not a big deal. John Dalton, check how old John Dalton was when he became the principal of a school. Some of these people were principals of schools at 18. Today, we tell our teenagers, just relax. What's the problem? Just keep moving along slowly. Now, there's nothing wrong with children playing. I get it. They can play and do math problems for fun. That's fine. What I'm saying, though, is that we need to also be mindful of the children around us to see if some of them have the propensity or the inclinations or the desire to advance their mathematical understanding, and we need to give them the tools to flourish. That's what Lifestem Academy is doing. We have our local campus in Moorhead and Grand Forks. We have programs out of Duluth and Superior, Wisconsin. And we also have a program, like an online program for physics, which you can sign up for from any part of the United States. Even if your child attends a traditional school, they can still be a part of our community of learners. Because at Lifestem Academy, by the grace of God, many years from now, we want our students' names, or people affiliated with us, we want to see their names in the textbooks, right? Hey, have you heard about the theory of this? Oh, that guy came out of Lifestem. That's interesting. That kind of model actually happened. Paul Erdos and John von Neumann have some connections, right? And I should better pause. I've talked enough about different people. But we have Terence Tao, Andrew Wiles, and some other names we've looked at today. But Paul Erdos and John von Neumann are like the new generation of some of those people I described. Now, both of them, of course, I believe are dead now. But and so I'm not talking about this generation today. Today would be the Terence Tao. Okay, so that would be some of the people today that we talk about who are doing a lot of work. Terence Tao has done work in number theory. So if you're a professor out there and you're looking for a school that makes sense for your child, where they're challenged within reason, give us a call. No matter what part of the country, no matter what part of the world, we are looking for math and science people that are serious to learn and want to get to the highest level. We will give you problems that have not been solved and see how you can work through solving some of those problems. That's a great retirement plan. Solve one of those problems and you get yourself some money, right? I'm kidding. I don't want you to do that, feel like you wasted your life. But at Lifestem Academy, come ready to learn from the masters so that you can become one and encourage the next generation of STEM students. Take care. Have a blessed day. Just wanted to introduce you all to our Albert Einstein Award program, Nobel Prize program, as well as the Fields Medal program that we teach to help our students learn what the problems that need to be solved are. Take care.